んでもみんな踊りを踊っているよ
Maruko is a little girl in the third grade of elementary school in the city of Shimizu, Japan. She is very cheerful girl but a little lazy and sometimes mischievous, like children her age. Maruko lives with 5 family members. There are father, mother, her sister, grandfather, and grandmother. One day, Maruko's grandpa won the lottery in the form of a holiday ticket to Thailand, but unfortunately, Maruko's grandpa couldn't go, and neither could the other family members. In the end, Maruko decided to represent her grandfather in going to Thailand. Maruko was very happy when she arrived in Thailand. There she immediately met a girl her age who was a native of one of the islands in Thailand when Maruko and several other lottery winners vacationed. The girl is named Pusadi. Then, Pusadi took Maruko around the islands where she lived, seeing the beautiful scenery even though there was limited language to communicate. Pusadi and Maruko were still happy when they were together. Pusadi then taught Maruko a dance from Thailand. Meanwhile, at Shimizu, Maruko's family members were watching TV together, but their minds were all focused on Maruko. Maruko's family felt that the atmosphere at home was a bit different when Maruko was not there. They were also worried about Maruko's condition because they had not received any news from Maruko. Sometime later, the house telephone rang and all of Maruko's family members approached the place where the house telephone was. But no one dared to accept the call because they thought that the person calling was the party providing a holiday in Thailand. So they thought they would use English. But it turned out the call was from Maruko's father's friend. Even though Maruko was taking turns teaching traditional Japanese dance to Pusadi with an older girl who also won the lottery to Thailand, they seemed very happy with each other. The next day, Pusadi invited Maruko and 3 other adults to cross the islands to a smaller island with limited language. Pusadi said that it was very beautiful there. Maruko and the others understood what Pusadi meant. When they arrived at the small island, Maruko got off the boat very enthusiastically, as did the others. They immediately carried the equipment they brought.
Maruko was very happy and full of enthusiasm, as was Pusadi. They both cheered saying, "Hooray!" in Japanese. An older girl who came to the small island was amazed to hear Pusadi cheering in Japanese, and Pusadi said,
Father and Maruko taught me Japanese.
Pusadi said using Japanese. Maruko also prided herself because she had succeeded in teaching Japanese to Pusadi, even though it was only a little.
Suzuki motorbike,
said Pusadi, who instead mentioned the name of a motorbike brand made in Japan. Maruko should teach more useful words. There was a dark cave there which scared Maruko, but Pusadi kept saying,
"It's okay,"
in the Japanese language taught by Maruko. At that time, Maruko regretted having taught that word to Pusadi because that was the only word in Japanese that Pusadi knew. Maruko realized that she had to teach words that were more useful for the right situations for Maruko. Maruko then held Pusadi's hand and was about to pull Pusadi out of the cave, but Pusadi continued to say,
It's okay, Maruko.
Maruko was scared and she wanted to get out of the cave, but Pusadi kept walking straight. Like it or not, Maruko continued to follow Pusadi.
Pusadi then invited Maruko to jump into the river that flows inside the cave. At first, Maruko refused because she didn't dare. But because Pusadi had already jumped into the river and Maruko didn't want to be alone, she jumped too.
Pusadi kept saying,
It's okay.
in Japanese to Maruko. Maruko just smiled, but in her heart, there was still fear because this was something she had never done in her life, especially in her country of Japan. Pusadi also invited Maruko to hang out like in the Tarzan movie, and this scared Maruko because this was Maruko's first time in Japan, especially in Shimizu. She had never done something this adrenaline-inducing. Pusadi still with her words
It's okay, Maruko.
in Japanese.
After that, Pusadi invited Maruko to pick mangoes, which are famous for their sweet taste, and of course, they are still fresh. Even though Pusadi only pointed at the mango tree, Maruko knew what Pusadi meant. Maruko also saw baby rabbits and the mother rabbits relaxing on the grass. The two girls were very happy, especially Maruko. She could feel the sensation of adventure in a tropical country that she couldn't do in her country.
Maruko and Pusadi then ran around in the middle of the beautiful green land in the small island. Pusadi also asked Maruko in Japanese.
Are you happy?
Maruko answered that she was happy. Maruko then said to herself that she promised that when she arrived in Japan, she would tell about her new friend in Thailand, Pusadi, to school friends and family.
Maruko and Pusadi then returned with a lot of mangoes that the two of them had picked. Several lottery-winning participants were also very happy to get an abundance of mangoes. In the evening, the lottery winners enjoyed a special dinner from the event organizer in Thailand. There were lots of entertaining displays, and Maruko was very happy, as were the others.
It didn't feel like time had passed so quickly. The next day, the lottery winners were ready to board a ship across the island to the Thai capital so they could return to Japan by plane. Everyone said goodbye to the native people on the island, but Maruko didn't see Pusadi. Before everyone left the island, Maruko saw Pusadi was wearing traditional Thai clothing, and Pusadi gave a memento by saying,
Maruko, a present.
to Maruko. Maruko was very happy to get a gift from Pusadi and said, "So beautiful," in English. Pusadi looked sad, but Maruko then calmed Pusadi and said, "We will meet again soon," in Japanese, even though Pusadi probably didn't understand what Maruko was saying. Everyone got on the boat and Maruko didn't forget to wave goodbye to Pusadi and everyone. Maruko was very happy to be able to go on holiday and have an adventure experience like what she and Pusadi had done. This is truly something Maruko will never forget. While on the plane, Maruko looked out the window and noticed that the island where Pusadi lived was getting smaller and smaller and was covered in clouds as if it had disappeared. "The island has disappeared," said Maruko, panicked because she felt that she was very far from Pusadi and could not meet Pusadi again. But the girl beside Maruko said that Japan was very far away, separated by air and land. However, they had to return to Japan. Maruko just realized why Pusadi was crying earlier. Maruko was crying while hugging the gift Pusadi gave her, and also a letter from Pusadi which said,
Maruko, don't forget me, Pusadi.
using a Japanese letter by Pusadi. Maruko will not be able to forget the adventure and forget Pusadi. Maruko finally arrived in Japan and returned to her home in the city of Shimizu. Her family welcomed Maruko warmly, and Maruko immediately gave her family members souvenirs from Thailand. But the gift for his grandfather was very strange. It was a mask with a strange face.
Maruko's trip highlights the importance of friendship and solidarity in culturalism. During their various adventures, Maruko and her new friends built a strong connection marked by laughter, support, and shared experiences. They collaboratively faced various obstacles, such as going into dark caves and relying on their friendship to overcome difficulties. This illustrates the importance effect of meaningful interactions established across cultural barriers.
Vacation serves as a reminder that relationships based on cultural comprehensions and mutual appreciations can enhance our lives, generating love memories and a feeling of belonging. The moral lesson emphasized is that cultivating strong interactions with people from varied cultural backgrounds contributes to our development and fosters a more inclusive and peaceful society.